Alright, hey guys, my name is Andrew Cipriano. I am going to talk to you about something kind of exciting today. It's exciting for me, it probably isn't exciting for you, at least not how you're feeling about this, but I'm going to talk to you about a quarter-life crisis. So I saw a video on TikTok the other day, and there was this guy who was explaining all the symptoms of a quarter-life crisis, and at the very end he says, you're probably experiencing this, a crisis in your whatever. But I thought it was cool. So not a lot of people talk about it, and all the comments were like, oh my gosh, now I have a name for what I'm going through, but I don't know what to do next. So I'm here today to give you information. I've been struggling and fighting against this for about a year and 2 months, I would say. So last year, I had a really, really rough, I would say, crisis. I'm gonna call it the quarter-life crisis. So I didn't know what I was doing. I felt this horrible, excruciating meaninglessness and this cloud just hanging over my head, and I felt worthless, like I'd done nothing and achieved nothing in my life, and no one else was going through this, and how could everyone else just have normal jobs, and I'd be so fundamentally unhappy just going through the motions. So my best idea of why this happens is because you're trying to figure out so many different areas of your life all at once. Your 20s is the biggest changes you're gonna have in your life at the most, at one time. You're never gonna be older and trying to figure out your education while you're trying to figure out your relationships and what career you're gonna have and where you're gonna live, if you wanna stay in your hometown or if you wanna just jump ship and move to a different country and be spontaneous. And also religion's a big one, so whatever your higher power wants to be, but something to get you through. But you're trying to figure out all these different areas of life at once, and it can be totally overwhelming. Alright, so just as a really quick resource, in case you guys are still kind of having trouble, explaining what this is or anything like that. I got this book last year. It's literally called Quarter Life Crisis by Alexandria Robbins and Abby Wilner. It was written in 1998. So that is how you guys know that this isn't something that just our generation or millennials or whatever, Generation Z or X or Y or whatever the hell has gone through. It's obviously a normal part of life. You're experiencing so much change at one time. It's normal to feel overwhelmed. So I'm gonna read a page out here that really, really hit home with me. Hopefully it's gonna hit home with you as well. And it'll encourage you guys to get this book. This is why there are so many drastic life changes at this point in life. An investment banker breaks off his engagement and volunteers for the Peace Corps. A consultant suddenly frets that consulting may not really have that much influence on other people's lives. A waiter chucks his steady paycheck to live in his car and try to make it in Hollywood. A law school graduate decides she doesn't want to be a lawyer after all and seeks a job in technology. The changes hurtling towards a young adult, as well as the potential for more changes ahead, can be excruciatingly overwhelming. For a lot of people, they just don't realize how suffocating this pressure can be. So that's just one half of a page out of this book. She goes over a lot more quotes that are amazing and they should connect on you on a really deep level. And then the rest of the book is just stories of people that have gone through stuff like this, and like 5 of them really connected with me and hit home. So I'm assuming that at least one of them is gonna have to hit home with you. And once you see that somebody else has gone through this, it just makes it so much better. It starts to lift the cloud off a little bit, and it gives you legitimacy in how you're feeling, which is really important, and it's a step to get out of this situation. So I recommend this. I bought it on Amazon for like $7 last year. It's totally worth the $7. All right, so I wanna go over my quarter life crisis, that's what I'll keep calling it, so that you guys have an idea of where I'm coming from, and hopefully it gives you some clarity on me. So I was selling cars. I was 21 years old. I did this for 2 years. I hit 23. I had burned myself out. I felt totally meaningless in my life. I had nothing going for me, at least so I thought. I looked around, social media, I'm looking at everyone else's life, and I said, wow, I have nothing, I have no meaning, I have no anything, I'm just selling cars, and yeah, I'm making okay money, but life isn't just about this. So I had a crisis. I had to quit my job, and then I decided to just move to Spain for a year. So I did that, and I spent a whole year in Barcelona, and it was incredible. And it was amazing, and I didn't really do anything to progress in my life other than just be somewhere new. And sometimes you just need the reset button. I totally encourage a year off if you're having a crisis like this, or if you're having a situation like this. It's not gonna hurt. It was a really good refresh button that I needed. So I came home in September 2019, and I had a horrible depression. I realized that running away didn't make my crisis go away. It just distracted me. Again, I recommend it. Getting away for a little bit. I also recommend doing this next step. So a lot of people, I've seen videos and stuff, and even this book, I'm not going to talk bad about it, but there's a lot of information describing what a quarter life crisis is, or they say, are you feeling like this? Yes, this is what you're going through, but very little people have solutions for this, and it was really disappointing. So I have come up with my own solution that I'm really, really convinced is going to work for you guys as well. The biggest takeaway from this book was listen to your gut. And that's what all these stories, consistently, story after story after story of these people that have gone through this say, listen to your gut. It never is going to steer you the wrong way, and I should have done that. So just in case you guys want, that's the takeaway. Still recommend buying the book, but I agree with that to an extent. But here is my takeaway. All right, guys. So the cure to a quarter life crisis, in my estimation, after doing this, going through it, and seeing a lot of other people in the situation, and I'm trying to help people with it right now, and I've seen good results. I think the cure is to make your life about more than just you. So for example, do you know how a business has a mission statement, that overriding statement that says why they do what they do and who they are? I totally would encourage you to sit down and spend like an hour, like in a real hour, sitting down and thinking what you want your mission statement for life to be. It doesn't have to be change the world or save all the starving people or anything like that. Make it achievable, make it line up with your values. So for instance, my mission statement would be to teach other people how to think critically for themselves and take on responsibility so that they can empower themselves to make positive changes in their life. Something like that. It's not that difficult. It's totally fluid. I can change it a little bit if I want, but that is my mission statement. So every decision I make throughout the day and every choice and every routine I have, I think, is this going to help me with that mission statement? And if it's yes, then I keep doing it. And if it's a no, that probably isn't serving me anymore and I need to come up with a new habit. Just an example of how to make your life more about yourself. For instance, right now, a decision that I took that rides with my mission statement is going back to college. So I'm on my 3rd year as a psychology student, and that's all right. I'm 25. I don't feel like behind or anything like that. I'm really happy I waited, actually, or I would have had a 4-year in accounting that I would have never used. So I'm really, really happy that I waited, and I'm really happy that I can share my information with you guys now, because this would have never happened if I would have just been complacent and gone for the first degree that was safe. So another example of how I've made my life more about other people than just myself is I started working at a mental health hospital. This rides with my vision of teaching other people how to take more responsibility in their life, and it's really amazing so far. I've never had so much meaning in a job, so that's awesome. The money's not great, but I realize that it's totally not about that. And I think that if I keep doing this and actually trying to help people, then I will get whatever resource I need to do that. I truly believe that. My crisis is starting to lift, and it feels amazing, but it took a long time, and it isn't easy. Taking more responsibility in your life and focusing your life on what you can do for other people, it's a lot of work, and I can understand why some people never hit that point mentally or hit that desire to do that. Overall though, it's really good that you're having this quarter life crisis. It means that you're actually thinking about how you can leave a positive impact on the world, whether it's through a family or a meaningful career or moving across the world and being cultured, which I don't recommend just doing that alone. Try to make a plan while you're over there. I ran away to Spain. It was awesome for a while, but when I came back, my problems came back with me. So make your life about more than yourself. It is such good therapy to do that. It gives you meaning. Your life becomes intrinsically more enjoyable if you do that and make your life about other people. So the quarter life crisis can be absolutely overwhelming. But if you think about it, take one step at a time. Just think, what do I want my life to be about? What's the best thing that I can do with my life to leave the best thing on this earth? Genuinely think about that. And if you really think about it, you're gonna get some answers, and you can work with that and make a mission statement, and you can start positive goal setting and short-term goals and long-term goals. And it could be, really, it could just be, I wanna have 2 kids and I wanna find someone that I'm happy with marrying. And it doesn't have to be the perfect person, because that person doesn't exist. But if you're willing to work on that relationship with that person and genuinely listen to them and just try to understand them, you can do it with anyone. And love is a lot more common than people think it is. And that's a totally awesome mission statement for your life. And if you want to change your career and you want something more meaningful, just think of some way that you can use skills or your interests to help other people. I love doing stuff like this. I took a life coaching course. I love talking to people about what they want to do with their lives and, you know, pushing them towards it. At the mental hospital, I'm there every day, talking to the patients and figuring out, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? How can you set a goal today that's going to get you closer to where you want to be? What's a good vision you can have for your life? And I'm telling you, this is the best antidote or cure or prevention to having a crisis like this. And it's really good that you're having it right now, because that means when you're 50 and you've actually set up a life that's built on a strong foundation that has meaning and it's not about just you, you're not gonna have a midlife crisis. And a midlife crisis, in my opinion, is way scarier because you have way less time to fix it. My name is Andrew, guys. I really want to help you guys through this. If you have any more questions, please let me know. I'm going to try to get this out to everyone, and hopefully it's been helpful. If there's any more questions you have, though, please let me know, because I have so much information, but nobody wants to watch 20-minute videos anymore on YouTube, so I get it. All right, thanks, guys. Have a good day. Good luck.